Welcome to the cavalry, everybody. A little switcheroo. Now Johnny's remote.
Yeah, Johnny's turn to sound like shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm back home in the friendly confines of my basement.
Next to your washer dryer.
Next to the washer dryer, next to the 800 cans of paint. Because when you get a sample from, as my wife loves to get, like, this is like classic wife talk.
Wife talk on the
The
cavalry.
patriarchy is out of control, but this is true. She has to get like 18 different colors per wall, and you can't just get the little cards and tape them up to see that. You actually paint them on the wall. So we get all these samples of paint, but the samples they give you at these paint stores aren't like little tiny things, because then those would be free. They give you an actual, here, I'll show you,
The pint, right?
a pint, like
Yeah,
that's how much paint, but you only use like that much. So now I swear on my life, I have like 60 of these in my basement. And do you know where to put paint?
You pay for them, right?
I don't know where to take it. I'm sure there's like some protocol on how to get rid of paint,
Yeah,
but
it's like
I don't
getting rid of
know.
batteries.
It's just like getting rid of batteries. There's some magic black hole that nobody will tell you where to go. So
Call the city, have a special truck come pick up your paint.
yeah, it's probably like once a decade. And if you don't have it out in front ready by like 6 a.m., you've lost your chance.
That's like when we have to take our yard stuff out because they don't have like yard bin, and you're not supposed to put it in the garbage cans or the recycling, whatever. And so everyone will put their stuff on the street, and then once a year, the truck will come and take all your tree branches and clippings and leaves. And
And
I
if you miss
always
that, so you don't have a regular yard waste, like a once a week yard waste?
no, we just
Yeah,
have cycling once every other week, and then garbage every week.
that's brutal. So what do you do with like
Yeah.
grass clippings? Or you just make a compost pile or
I
something?
just mulch. And
Yeah.
leaves, everyone just does it into the street. So like, they come by and pick up the leaves with whatever machine, and then, there's just a huge pile of them in front of the beaner's house forever after they all get picked up. Remember, I had that one topic of like, you should, if your tree goes over someone else's yard,
right.
you should be responsible. I feel bad. Like our next door neighbor, the youngers that have those high school boys now, two college boys, he is meticulous about his yard, and he'll like come into our yard and get, like, he does it. He gets stuff out of our yard.
Oh, see, I'd
Like
hate that.
but
I'd be like, put it back. Put them all back exactly where you found them. I don't want to. I counted those leaves. I know exactly how many were in my yard. I want them back.
those are beaner leaves, damn
Those
it.
are beaner leaves. What's the beverage of choice there? That looks like a middle school's. Oh, just a Pepsi. Okay, but it's got a bunch of shit on it. Throwback.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a cherry lime Pepsi burst or something.
It's the Sharknado.
Sharknado Pepsi.
How was your Halloween?
Oh, it was very fun. We went out trick-or-treating, and the neighbor kid across the street and their parents, and we went up to, like, our street is typically dead on Halloween, like, and I've always wondered why, because there's a lot of families in our neighborhood. But we finally figured it out, because if you go up the hill, there's this one street like about 4 blocks up from us, and it's like where the nicer houses are on the ridge, and they all have views of the city. And they go, like, it's like a parade of kids. I mean, literally, I just watched one house, and over like 2 minutes, like 45 kids just streaming, just nonstop, because they do crazy decorations and music and like lights and giant spiders. And I mean, it was nuts. And we would have never made it up there because it's always raining, and we had Ginger, so it's like we're not gonna go up the hill, We like basically, it was all we could do to get up and down our street and like call it good, and put her to bed and get drunk. So now, but then I was blown away. But it was so funny because so Ginger was she loves Spider-Man, right? She watches this
Yeah.
Spider-Man cartoon, and she loves Miles. There's three Spider people. There's Ghosty, Ghost Spider is the Gwen, and then there's Miles, and then there's Peter. She loves Miles. She had this costume. It's like big muscles. She's like tall for her age, so they took this picture at daycare, and she's like one of the younger ones, but she's just towering over these other kids in her muscle costume. It looks like she's like they're her kids, you know. But she loves it. She wore it all day with the mask over her eye. Like the mask is constantly getting pulled up, so it's like she can barely see. But she wore it with the mask for like all day at daycare, all day on Saturday when she went to a Halloween party with her friend's house. And then I'm telling you, 15 minutes before Halloween, she's out. I don't want to be Miles. She wanted to be Elsa. And she doesn't even watch Frozen, you know?
For what, trick or treat time?
Yeah. She just totally was like, I'm out on Spider-Man. I'm like, you got the best costume. It's so cool. And you love it. And she's like, no, it's this big fit. She wanted to wear, she has this Elsa um nightgown, basically. It's not even a dress, but it just has an image of Elsa on it. It's not really a costume. But then Heidi got this like a crown from her birthday from like a year ago. And then she has these sparkly boots, and that was it. And then she wanted to go out in that. So that was her. But then it's cold, so we had to put this big orange jacket on her. So she really has no costume except for this crown. And she went up to this one house, and this lady, most people don't even there's a lot of kids, they're not even looking that close. They're just like they're not trying to decipher the costumes, you know. They're like, oh, are you a dinosaur? Are you They're just like, take the candy, keep it moving, right? But this one lady really stared at her, and she's like, what are you supposed? Oh, I get it now. And both Heidi and I are looking at each other like, you do? Like, what is it?
Here's the wrong guess, ma'am.
You Do you want to tell us what it is? Because we have no fucking clue what this costume is.
Did she say what it was?
No. She did that thing where like I was saying I used to do that with Magic Eyes. Do you remember those books, Magic Eyes, where you had to like hold it up to your nose and put, and it was like, oh, I see it, and I could never see it, but I was like, oh yeah, I see it too. Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's talk about something else quick.
Before you asked me what I saw.
Right. But so that was fun, and she's, loves candy, so it's been a big hit so far. What about you guys?
So did she get sick of being Miles, and that's why she wanted
I
to
have no
switch?
idea. I think we were listening to Frozen music. We were listening to like all sorts of music before to like pump ourselves up to go out in the cold. And then some of the songs were Frozen. She loves the, Let It Go, like the biggest stereotype in the world, but she just loves it. And I think she just got in her head that she was Elsa now, and she didn't want to be Miles. But then, like, just now before I got in here, we did like an hour of playing Spider-Man, and I had to be Rhino and Green Goblin and Iron Man and all this stuff. So
Wearing her costume.
no, just she just plays it. So
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. I even bought her web shooters, so she could like shoot webs, but way too big for her. They don't make 2-year-old size web shooters, so they're like they would have weighed down her arm, and she couldn't like operate the little sprayer thing. So I'll save those for when she's 9.
There was a guy at the Batman roast that he just did a set as Spider-Man, but
Oh
he
yeah.
brought those web shooters, but he was like holding his hands down, like you have to hold them upright or else it just makes a big fucking, big
Oh, they
confetti.
leak every. Oh yeah.
To shoot people, but it would just be like an explosion of confetti. This was shitty.
Well, these ones I bought, they either spray water or you get one canister of like
Duncan has that.
some horribly, I'm sure, like will melt trees or like like ruin the environment forever, whatever it is. And I'm like, okay, we're not using that because I'm sure it'll like we have too old of a house, it'll probably like destroy the house or something. So I just tried the water ones, but she couldn't like they were just too big for her. Like she couldn't get it
Yeah,
to
she has
actually
to be able to
squirt.
like do it with these
Yeah, I
fingers.
don't even think she could bend the arm, because it would like ride up all the way over her bicep. So that was a mistake. But other than that, I mean, she got her money's worth out of the costume. I just couldn't believe it. Like we had to, she didn't even want to go. She was like, "No, I don't want to go." I'm like, I can't, how am I having this fight with a two? Like we're gonna go trick or treating. You're gonna go get candy. Like what? You're gonna wear your cool Spider-Man costume. I mean, like what? Why am I fighting about this? I should have been like, yeah, you want to stay home? Sure, great. Me too. Let's watch a movie. But she loved it when she got out there. It was just like it was an unexpected fight. But how was Halloween for you? You were home, right? You weren't at this
Yeah,
Stevens
no,
Point.
it was nice. It was fun because every year we've gone with neighbors. So it's always been fun, but it's just kind of like the parents walking behind the kids, which is fun. But this year was like Edie went with two of their friends, and they were all bananas. So they were just on their own,
Yeah.
and
Like
they oof,
completely separated, like you didn't even know where they were.
right, yeah,
That independent.
yeah,
Okay.
and came back with quite a haul. It was like a big haul, like half a pillowcase.
They
So
found
then
they found some of those buckets.
they were running between houses, like Phil, like they didn't waste any
Yeah.
time. And but Duncan and it was just nice. It was just me, Aaron, Duncan, and Phoebe. Just the four of us. And Phoebe was loving it. It was just super cute. They're like at the age where it's just like
Yeah.
what's going on? It was just cute. But she was a werewolf and she had put on a jacket, so you have no idea what she is at all. And
Right.
Duncan was Michael Jackson, and we got a lot of people that were double checking, like, oh, and is this Michael Jackson? And then I'd hear Aaron like laughing, like, yeah, he's Michael Jackson. I'm like, oh
Yeah. See, you haven't had that conversation yet?
no, but no,
That was
it's
like an original cavalry
like
topic.
I know. I think we ended up just saying, oh, he hurt kids.
And Duncan's like, "Oh, cool. I'm gonna be
No,
him for Halloween." Yeah,
how do you hurt them? Well, he licked their buttholes. That doesn't.
that wouldn't hurt. How does that hurt? Yeah, we went to this one house, and Heidi and I've always admired, like, you go for walks in these nicer neighborhoods, and because the houses are so big and pretty and put together, and so we've seen this house for ever since we moved into our house. We walk by it all the time. This beautiful white picket fence, and then we knew it was for sale. We knew how much it was going for, and then we saw it was like this gay couple that moved in. These two guys, good-looking guys, obviously wealthy. And then so we're like, oh man, let's go trick or treating in their house because then we can like look in the house and see how nice it is and stuff. That's kind of what Halloween is for like. That's sad when you get old, but you're like the kids are like excited by the candy, but I just want to see like what you got going on in there, huh? What kind of TV do you got? Where do you keep your TV? Oh, over the fireplace. Okay, good call. you know.
Yeah.
But they
Duncan
were
used
like so decked out. This house, it was like going to a pay for haunted village or something. Like a spider in their front yard that was bigger than our house. Like huge, and then smoke blowing and music and lasers, and so it's like so much stimulation. And then they had this big inflatable, like Heidi said it was some, I forget, I wish she was here because it was from something, but like a big inflatable, like artistic looking dog off to the
Yeah.
right. So you get the candy, and then the dog was to your right. And when Ginger walked by, the dog, it did that thing where like if you're walking on the boardwalk and someone's like perfectly still, you think it's a mannequin, and then they jump out at you. It did that. So there was a guy, one of the guys was in the costume, and it just scared the shit out of. I mean, so Ginger was freaked out. She's like, oh my god, and then she recovered. But then the other kid, her friend across the street, I mean, he did it to him even worse. Like he barked at him too, and I mean, it scared him so bad. Like that's all he would. We went home after that. It was like all he could talk about was like, oh, that was so scary. And she's like, yeah, but remember all the fun you had? It's like, that dog was so scary. So it's like,
You just keep focusing on the shit that rocketed out of his asshole right when he got.
right. I mean, like, what a pastime though for like childless gay dudes to just scare the ever living shit out of toddlers and go, yeah, you deal with that. We're having a blast over here.
It's so
Watch.
funny because I thought that like a lot of people have like skeletons and scarecrows on their porch, and I always thought that would be so fun to just like
Yeah. No,
let
it
in
get
look like it and just scare the shit out of
let me
kids.
tell you something. I mean, if you really want to scare a 2-year-old, you can do it. It's not that hard. these guys, these guys nailed it.
Man,
Oh,
they, or
huh?
you,
Oh well, I didn't know whether to do this for a topic or not, but I think I'm just going to do it as my we'll just put it here in the
Halloween talk on the cavalry.
Halloween talk. There we go. I knew there was a way for us to make this a segment. So Halloween talk. So on the walk back too, then you start seeing the teenagers out, and oh my god, that gives me like, it's so cute to see little kids in their costumes. But then once you see teenagers, and especially when they don't even like really talk about like unrecognizable costumes, when they're just like, I'm wearing a ski mask. And you're like, are you, are you actually gonna rob me, or just is that the? And just gangs on this street, just like packs of them, running up and down. It's just giving me like anxiety. And then they hit this house on our walk back. They were going down the hill. In this, old couple, they had left the bowl out, classic,
Right.
right? Take one, whatever. So these guys just cleared them out. But the lady got outside in time to yell at them, way to be courteous and thanks for ruining it for everybody, all this stuff. And I'm like, here's my controversial take
Uh-huh.
is if you put the bowl out, you get what I mean, it's like leaving dog food out in your dog in the backyard and going, all right, now don't eat this. I
Yeah.
told you not to. I just said just to have one bite, okay, and then expecting it to be there when you get back, and then like yelling at your dog, like it's your fault.
Yeah, I totally agree. And we did that, and I was expecting it to get
Yeah,
taken.
right.
Yeah.
But you just do it because you're like, well, I have to do something, and
Yeah.
so this is the
That
best
guy with the
option.
light
If
on.
Yeah, we actually had Heidi's mom come over and like dole it out while we were out trick or treating, but
But everyone has a ring camera on their door, and so
right.
like,
And they
but
post the videos of shame, but then it's like, who gives a shit? Like, what, am I gonna send this to the police or something? Like, what do you want me to do with this video?
we would watch, and they would have a kid stand in front of it while they all dump, so that you don't
Oh,
actually have the incriminating
oh,
footage.
that's even that's like too much. I don't like that they're
Have
that
the
smart.
balls to do it in front of the camera and
I
then
would just
flip.
like flip it off, like, I'm taking all your candy, you punk ass.
My name is Andrew Sleighter. I live at this address. Fuck you.
Yeah,
I don't.
come and get it, bitch. Try and stop me. But yeah, I just feel like, you know, even if there could be 10 kids who come by at first and take the one and is, but their kids are kids. Some point, someone's going to go dump the bowl in their bag, and then there's going to be none. And that's just the way it is. Like, you can't expect society to be Pollyanna.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oof. I agree with that totally.
Okay. So that's my Halloween. I think that's everything from Halloween.
I remember tune in next week for more Halloween talk on the
Yeah.
I remember
We'll do favorite Halloween candies again.
I was I was a Freddy Krueger, I think, or I wanted to be Freddy Krueger, and they had the claw, but it was like, I got the one that was like rubber. The whole thing was just rubber with like rubber things, but they had the one that was like more expensive, but it was like the glove and all the metal was plastic, but it wasn't
Oh,
glove in the vague shape. And I was just like, I just remember being at the age where like I was like, if I all I want, all I want is for my parents to buy me that glove, and I don't need another thing for the rest of my life. Like that is so cool. I can't even imagine wanting anything else in my life.
that's incredible. I
Yeah.
don't remember. I couldn't even tell you one Halloween costume. I
Oh
honestly
God.
don't remember any of them.
Well, fine.
Isn't that horrible? I'm
Is
like
it
I
because you care or you just literally don't remember?
well, I think I have pictures, so you I could trick myself into believing I remember. Like, pretty sure I was a Ninja Turtle once. Pretty sure I was uh like one of the Star Trek Next Generation, either like Riker or Data or one of those guys. But
You were a huge fucking dork.
that is not one that holds up well because when you're a kid, you don't care, like you just like what you like and you're not worried about it. So if it's Ninja Turtles, that's also seems stupid and dorky, but it's held up. Like every just turns out everybody was into the Ninja Turtles. And so if you went to the movie now, people would go, "Oh, you're reliving your past." But Star Trek is not one of those. Star Trek never crossed that bridge of like it was not it was not meant to be cool at any point.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that
Even
like it.
comic books, even comic books is like you were a big stupid nerd if you cared about comic books for like
What, back in the day?
60 years. Yeah. If you were like knew what Captain America and who if he was
Yeah.
fighting, whatever, or if you knew about Thanos, like any of the stuff that's so common knowledge now from the movies, for like
Yeah.
up until it became movie successful, you were the biggest dork on earth if you like read Superman comics or something. And now it's so publicly, it's all anybody, you know what I mean? It's totally crossing the mainstream. You get to be cool. If you had the insider knowledge and you knew more than the movies even tell you, then it's like cool that you know that.
I did.
But
I
we
guess
don't
I
do
didn't
that with
know.
That's never happened with Star Trek. There's never been a big enough Star Trek movie to like
Yeah,
break it into the
they've got a lot
mainstream.
of movies.
They've done a lot of movies. Yeah, they've tried. They've definitely tried. They
You
tried to
know,
make Star Trek cool with who is the guy.
J.J. Abrams,
Yes, that one. And they had the guy play Kirk was
fine.
Michael Pine or whatever Pine, Chris Pine.
And I've never seen a single new or old Star Trek. I've never even seen an episode.
Really?
No.
I don't know. It's something like it's weird. It's kind of like religion where if you don't get into it young enough,
Yeah.
I worry that like it's like a hard thing to just pick up in your 40s,
Well, who like? Because I
because
always
it
thought like
seems so
I got
strange.
into it.
It's a strange world that you like have to go, well, why are they dressed like that? And you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But
Who
some
is
of
the
them are
target
good.
age for Star Trek? Do you think?
That's the thing is I think it is like probably skews a little older. I don't know, like are kids into Star Trek?
I mean, that's why I never watched it when I was young because I was like, it just seems like a space soap opera that I
Yeah.
wouldn't for adults or something. I don't know. So I
I
never
watched
watched.
it on Thursday. I remember Thursday night, Star Trek The Next Generation would come on. My mom was always working late nights on Thursdays and Fridays. So we'd watch a lot more TV. And we'd watch like whatever NBC sitcoms, be Seinfeld or Friends. And then the ones later would always be ones like that didn't make a single guy or shit like that. And then
Yeah.
Star Trek would be on at 10 o'clock. And we start Star Trek from 10 to 11. And that's
Yeah.
just what we watch. So I don't know. It's weird, but
Huh.
yeah. And that's really that one. A couple other ones I've watched, but like most of them I haven't. I haven't seen like the original
What
series,
was the one you said you watched?
The Next Generation.
Okay. What
Yeah,
was that like the second version?
that was the second version. Yeah, yeah. Which now they've done like 10 of them. I mean, there's always different Star Treks. But
Yeah,
enough
well,
about
there will always be nerds, you know what I mean?
yeah. See, I wanted to get out of it.
Nerds.
I tried to get out of it before you came down with the hammer, but I want to talk about, speaking of nerds, I want to talk about the Batman roast.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh my god, what a performance. We'll post the links
Yeah.
um somewhere. Either, well, I'll definitely post them on the Patreon, but then we'll post them in the feed maybe. But
Yeah.
like just killer, both your set and the your
Rebuttal.
response, your rebuttal were just great. I almost want to watch the other ones, like people roasting you, you know?
Yeah, I have yeah, they're not posted online. I posted, but like the camera angle when I showed the audience shot, that's the camera angle. I mean, it's zoomed in on the audience, but if you pan out, you can see, so it's not as good of an angle.
Oh, okay.
Like mine was just for my DSLR camera, and the other one was for my old cheap one that I had running the whole time. But I could try to post it up. But uh, yeah, I mean, everyone was. It was fun. Like it was.
It was
Those
so
shows are so
funny.
fun because it's like, you write and it's like, but it's like after that, it's like, well, this is all
Right? It's all it's all gone
done.
now.
Yeah.
The it was funny. Well, first of all, you said, "Oh, I forgot to do the Epstein Island joke," and I was like, "I don't even know what that is. Did we work on that?"
That's the one, you wrote that one. That was the one where it was a lot where there's a lot of hate towards millionaires these days. And I gotta say, one millionaire that's on the up and up is Bruce Wayne. I used my back computer to do a check on him, and those photos of him at the Epstein Island are totally fake.
But see, it's all almost good you didn't, because in that universe, you're still pretending
Right.
that you don't know Bruce Wayne, or like, that you're not the same person.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you did a joke later. You did one where you were talking about like you are a billionaire.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
fellow
And
millionaire.
Elon Musk. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was great. Very funny. The voice is so like, what a crutch, you know?
I
Because I
know.
think you got to laugh on your first word, just but hello everyone. Like I
I
think
know.
that got
I
a
know.
big laugh.
Every time I do stuff, that gets a laugh.
Wouldn't that be nice? Because there are comics out there in the world that like literally all they do is they get on stage and they either have a look or a voice, and they just have to like say one word or smirk or smile. And the aren't you jealous of that? Like all the time I've thought in my life of like an opening line or like what I'm gonna say to open a show, to just be able to go up and like, hello everyone, and everyone start dying. Like, oh my god, I'd kill
Yeah,
for that.
but it's like that the Twilight Zone where it's like, yes, that's gonna work, but you would get so sick of that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like when
I
you think of
guess.
like even when you think of like a great opening line, it's like, oh, that's great. But then you're using it. I mean, like the Beaner always gets a laugh. And I'm like, yeah, like they said, my name's Johnny Beaner, so that obviously sucked growing up. And it always gets a laugh. And it's like, that's the oldest
Yeah,
joke I've been saying since I thought,
yeah,
but
it's
it like
true. But
it's like
like if
I'm
you
getting
just look if you just look funny, or if you just like I remember, do you know Tony Baker?
yeah.
So he doesn't look funny, but he's got this like big, huge, kind of goofy grin. And he would just go on there. I remember following him in the San Francisco contest one time. I had to follow him like a couple times. It's probably why I did not do well in that contest. But like,
But the one he won,
yeah, it was the year he won it.
Mike Merrifield got second place.
Yeah, yeah. And he's like raged against the world. I was like, you lost to like maybe the funniest guy I've ever seen. Um, but Tony Baker would just go on stage and just like smile at him, and they would all start laughing.
And
I
it's
was like,
been and people that have never seen him
never
before.
heard of him, never seen him, didn't pay to see him. They paid to see a comedy contest. So he was just a random, as far as they know, stranger named Tony Baker. Nothing crazy or funny about the name, not dressed funny, just dressed nice. And he's a good looking dude, but he would just have this big old grin and smile at him. And then they all
Before
start
he talked.
laughing before he even talked. And I was like, well, shit. Like I just remember, like, how do you compete with that?
Yeah, it's like cheat. It's
And
like it's like a
it's a
superpower.
cheating, and it's so likable too. Like, Like I
You
love
can't
him.
even be mad at him. It's not
I can't
like
even be mad at him. I was like, I wish he would just do my time. I'd rather watch him than go up and why are you only doing 6 minutes, dude? Come on. That's why I've
it's,
lost because I was just like lost in his eyes. I was like, you keep going, man. You got it.
uh,
You got it, dude. But why was I
you
talking
get
about that?
up to
Oh, your
follow.
roast. Yeah, you killed it. You did throw me under the bus once because I wrote you that bad meow two line and then you blamed it on Alfred. You
Well,
had no
I
you
told
had
you I was
no
going to do this. Like,
confidence in it.
that'll be my joke if any line doesn't work, but they
Yeah.
all worked. And it's
Yeah,
such
yeah,
a, I mean, the joke even worked, and I still
I
said,
know. But it worked the least, I will say. I think the ones the I mean yeah, but like it was a seemed like the and was it a long show? Sometimes those things can go really long. So that's why I was surprised they had you all do sets before you did the roast.
well, they only had Johnny Appleseed, Spider-Man, and me do a set at the
Yeah.
time. I think they each did like 10 minutes. And I told them, I was like, it's not going to be 10 minutes
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah,
found
yeah.
3 days before and
Right.
I bailed. I was going to do arms expert because remember the one of the times I did arms
Oh,
expert,
that's
I just like it's just not going to work. Just a
yeah.
little
That's
patient.
hard to like
It's a little inside baseball. Like, is he
yes.
really, you know?
Right. It's definitely inside baseball. It's something only comedians would know is like a big dumb hacky bit.
Uh,
Was the crowd mostly though? Was it like real people that came, or was
yeah,
it like, oh wow, that's great?
yeah, they were a really good crowd, and they all they most of them were in costumes because you got like the ticket was cheaper if you show up in costume, and then after the show they gave away prizes for best most original whatever.
Oh,
So
cool.
it was fun.
And it was in Madison.
Yeah,
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 great. Good for
good.
you, dude. Good job. Well, like I said, I'll link the both sets on the podcast feed and the Patreon page so people can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. What did I have?
Any
Oh,
other?
I'm going to LA next week.
Oh yeah, are you doing any shows?
Can we record? I'm only there. I get there Sunday and I leave Saturday. So, and I've already got shows Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. And so Wednesday, Thursday, hopefully I'll be able to do comedy and magic because I want to do that at some point. But
Yeah.
those nights they have a comic instead of 10 comics. Like it's always
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't know if Richard will, put me up for a set, or maybe I'll just pop by and say hi to everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And wait, are you going out for like vacation? I forget why you're going out. Are you going out
I
for
just haven't been there in long, so I'm like, well, I'll
yeah.
go out see brother and sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a visit.
We're going to New York on shit, when are we going? Monday.
The whole
Monday.
family.
No, just Heidi and I. And my parents are gonna watch Ginger. So we're just going for like a vacation. But I've
Are you
got
gonna?
no shows. So I was straddling that line where I was like, I've done that before where I booked too many shows
Yeah,
and then it's not then you're like, what am I doing? Why am I dragging Heidi across the
that's another thing.
city?
Like, yeah, if you're with your Heidi, that's totally different than
Yeah.
if it's a job.
But I won't lie either. I did email one club that I did last time, I think it's Stand Up New York or
Yeah,
whatever. And they were really cool last time, put me up, it went great. And this time they just didn't respond. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna keep
right.
like hammering away at it and ruin the trip. I'm gonna take that as a sign and that. But it is kind of like it's a catch 22. Like
Yeah,
it's depressing not to have shows, but then if I had the shows, I'd be like, God damn it, why am I doing this when we came here to
I know.
have a
I
good
know.
time?
Well, that's fun.
I'm trying not to think about it too much. So yeah, we'll have fun. We got like a fancy hotel and So it's
How
like
long are you there?
3 nights. 3 nights. So nothing, not too much, but
During the week or the weekend?
during the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, come back Thursday.
Of this coming
Yeah.
week?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we should, yeah, then we'll talk later and just figure out.
Oh yeah, we got to figure out when to record.
Yeah,
But we can figure that out.
yeah, we can do
We can
whatever.
do it. Hey man, we haven't missed a week in 183 weeks,
I
assuming this
know.
goes to plan.
That's right.
Assuming I hit record. Oh shit. No, I
Oh,
didn't. I didn't. But yeah, LA will be cool. Weather will be nice, I'm sure.
it's a lot of people to see. That's another thing. Not only is the shows, but also like
Do you
seeing.
have a lot of people to see? Do you have a lot of people to like? I know you're like you said, your
There's a lot of
brother.
people I can see, yeah, but I mean, it's impossible to see everyone that I'd like to. But I also don't want it to be a week of checking off.
Yeah, I'm telling
I
you,
want to
when we went, when
harder.
Heidi and I went back, and then I went back. I've been back twice, I guess. Um, I was like, who are we gonna see? I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Who? I don't know. She was like, oh no, I have all my friends from improv and all these people. And I was like, oh yeah, I like could count it on one hand
And
because
then,
either
and then there's you. It's like, oh, I guess I could help Doug James. I don't.
yeah,
Right?
but it's just I didn't, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But like I just don't, you know.
Bunch of family.
Oh Jay. Oh, you froze up for a second. I missed that. I didn't realize who you were talking
Oh, it's
about.
Doug James.
Doug James. Yes, yes, yes. I could have gone to see Doug James. I wonder if he's still squatting at the same apartment on Hollywood Boulevard where they were like intentionally. This guy, if you don't remember if you haven't been listening to 89 straight episodes, Doug James was a comedy booker in LA and booked the worst shows in like Huntington Beach or somewhere else. But I remember riding down with him one time. Or no, I never rode down with him because I was warned he's going to smoke in your car. And I can't stand it when people smoke in my car. So he just cornered me one time at one of these shows and he was going on and on about his housing situation. And he lived at this apartment where they were like openly warring with him, trying to get him to leave because they wanted to tear it down and build condos, I'm sure. And he had it rent controlled. And they were like literally ripping his pipes out and like trying to make it untenable, but he was like not gonna leave because he had such a good deal. And it's like I would love to go by and see if he's still there and like the fight continues.
Hilarious. I
Anyway,
just assumed he lived behind Molly Blooms or whatever that.
well, he might now. No, I knew he lived in Hollywood because they would always say, like, hey, he's going to ask you for a ride, but you got to make something up on why you can't just tell him you're coming from San Diego or you don't, you're going to fly down or something because he, he will talk your ear off and chain smoke in your car the entire way down and back. And then if you weren't closing, so like in the beginning, I wouldn't close those shows
Yeah. You
and
gotta wait.
then you have to wait and yeah. So anyway, Doug James. Yeah, go see Doug James. Go see Doug James. Go see go to Bruco. Is that still going?
I don't know. I don't know if I did that one. What's that one?
You never did Bruco? That was just like a horrible open mic type thing in Westwood. Just trying to think of my old haunts. I don't know. I told you I'm like I was underwhelmed because I did those like I don't know what shows you're doing, but I did a couple and it just reminded me of that thing where you would try so goddamn hard to get on these shows and then you do it and it was fun. It's just always just fine. It's just like any other show. It's not magical. It's not like the hottest show you've ever been on. It doesn't reflect the effort that you go through to
Right,
get yourself on the show.
right.
And then and then it counts for nothing because even if you kill the hardest, they just put you right back at the end of the line and
Yeah, but look at you behind you. You've got a cool poster of you doing what was that? I forget the show. Kumail and
Oh, Meltdown.
Meltdown.
Yeah.
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 But that's like an
I did get the poster. That's one
yeah,
thing Meltdown was better. At least you got a physical thing to prove that
they
you did
did
it
that to
once.
every comic.
I think so. Yeah, because they made a bunch of them and then you would I don't know if the comics signed them or if it was just kind of cool because they were all individual. They would some artists would do
Yeah.
individual posters every time. But that show, I couldn't get on Meltdown until I booked Conan. And then I went to Meltdown and said, hey, can I run my set to because I'm about to do Conan. So I had to book Conan to get on Meltdown. That's how hard it was to get on Meltdown. And then they didn't. And then of course, it's you can't not kill on that show. It's very easy. But then that's it. Like I would have to get the Tonight Show probably to get back on, or like
You just keep lying and saying you're running your
wow,
set.
I'm sure that happens all the time. But I remember Zach Galifianakis was on that show, and
With
um,
you?
yeah, well
That's cool.
he popped in, and then I was like, oh here, I was like, just my luck. I was like, this is so cool. Zach Galifianakis, he's like funniest person in the world, whatever. But then also he's gonna go right in front of me, and then go on for like 40 minutes, and everyone's gonna give him a standing ovation, and then I'm gonna come out for like 8 minutes, and everyone's gonna be in the bathroom, and then but he got there a little late. And it's like, hey, I need a minute. Can I go up a little late? And then I went on before him. I was like, oh, thank God.
Right before him?
Yeah, right before him. So it was like perfect. I didn't have to follow his set. But then my buddy Brian was I think he was at the time was dating this girl Katie, and she was British, and she was kind of a celebrity, not a celebrity, but like a wannabe celebrity, from England. She was on one of those competition singing shows, and she wanted a picture with Zach. And I remember she was like kind of with our group. So this was very embarrassing. She wanted a picture, and he's like, no, I don't really do pictures. She's like, oh, come on, take a pic, you know? And then like really forceful. He's like, fine, fine, fine. And so she took a selfie. He's like, just whatever you do, don't post it. And what do you think?
Yeah.
Immediately just
Oh,
fucking post it on Instagram.
she posted it right away.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, thanks for that. So don't bring British
Oh,
reality
God.
stars to your comedy shows would be the lesson. Okay.
Wait, you want to pause it real quick?
Oh yeah.
You pause it?
Yeah.
And we're back.
And we're back. We're gonna be quiet because I'm gonna narrate because Johnny can't say anything. But Johnny's in a hotel room and we had to pause because he got accosted by his neighbor because the walls are thin and apparently did not like the cavalry. That will not be one listener he got. So now Johnny has to quietly tell us what he needs backup on this week. Go ahead, Johnny.
And now my face is huge in the video because I'm just close up to my computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
Johnny tried to do it from the bathroom, which I'm sure secretly wanted to do the show from the bathroom before previous
right,
episodes, but
but the internet didn't work.
internet didn't work. So
Oh, I didn't tell here, I'll just show you the picture. But this is true. I could have showed you, but the internet was cutting out. Look what is in the bathroom. If you can see that.
oh, a television. I love a TV in the bathroom.
There's a TV in the bathroom.
I remember going to Vegas and that was like the big novelty thing is some of the rooms had TVs, like at the Flamingo or some of the hotels had TVs in the bathroom. It's like, oh my God, can you imagine being rich enough to have a TV in your bathroom? And now it's a very achievable dream, just no one would ever think of doing it. Okay. But
It's
what
an
do you
MGM band where you can shit while watching TV. Yeah.
now phones kind of killed TV in the bathroom because we definitely all sort of have TVs in the bathroom, you know.
Yeah, and I think they killed TVs in the bedroom because we have an iPad and we have a stand that just goes next to the bed.
Oh yeah.
So that way you don't have to blast the volume, across your bedroom to hear it. It's like the screen and the iPad is right next to you.
That's a good call. We have a TV in the bedroom too, and we never watch. The only time we watch it is when Ginger comes into the bed in the morning and like she wants to watch like cartoons or something. But I can't remember the last time we watched our TV but we have a really cheap ass shit TV in our bedroom too. Why am I talking quiet? I don't have to talk quiet.
You don't have to talk quiet.
I'm like scared of this neighbor. Let me talk to him. Talk some sense to him.
He's a big guy.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Shit. Never mind. Take it back.
so okay, so my topic is now this could be this is a discussion topic, but it's also my topic. I think that comedians, when you're like super attractive, it works against you.
I
You know
know.
what I mean? Like
I
the
do.
whole Matt Rife phenomenon.
The
And I'm
Andrew
not
the
saying
Andrew
you
Slater
can't
thing.
be sexy and funny. You can't be as funny. And people can argue this and be like, no, he's hilarious. I'm just saying that's a distraction.
Oh,
When
you're
people are going to your show because you're sexy,
this
you
is
know what I mean?
yeah. This
You
is
just can't be as funny.
this is extra funny because you are glitching up and the video and the audio is kind of glitching up right now, but your face is also really close to the screen. So imagine you're like saying comedians can't be funny when they're too hot and your face is just kind of like mushed around way too big. And I don't think comedians who are hot are also funny. It's like, yeah, you don't. Uh okay. I'm gonna talk for a while, see if your computer catches up. But I think you're right. And I think like all of the comedians who are super hot, like Matt Rife and others, and there's
Dane Cook
women,
day.
Dane Cook back in the day, yeah. Although Dane Cook was never as hot as this Matt Rife. This Matt Rife is like a straight up model, like
Yeah,
could have been like a real
undeniable.
model. Yeah. So like I do think it hurts you. But like the question is it chicken and the egg? Because like if they had been ugly, would they have gotten funnier? Because you don't have the whole idea would be you don't have to be funny when you're hot because the doors that being funny opens already are open
Yeah,
to you because you're good looking. You know, funny is what you do to like get into certain places because you're not being let in. Like you're not athletic enough, or you're not hot enough. You know, so being funny is what gets you access to these things and
yeah,
friends, and so that would be the question: is are they too hot to be funny, like just as an audience member? Like if you just took Louis C.K.'s brain, or if you just took, you know,
hmm
and put it into Matt Rife's head, would it also be less funny? Or would you just go, that would never happen to Matt Rife because he doesn't, he's too hot to ever get a brain like Bill Burr or something?
right. Yeah, I think the latter. That means the second one, right?
Yeah, it's doing it's doing the
Or
math in my head.
this
I know
latter's
what
the
the
second
latter
one.
I know what the latter means, but then I was trying to remember like, well, what did I just say? I can't even remember what I said. Yeah, I think it's that they so you think their face just being hot prohibits you from being as funny. Like even if you had even let's say if you like let's say you were ugly
Yeah,
growing let's say you were ugly growing up, you're ugly till you're like 26 and then you had this incredible plastic surgeon come and make you the hottest person in the world. And it's totally it looks natural, looks 100% natural. You don't think
yeah.
that person could be funny?
I think they could come up with the same material, but I think their show is they're thinking about other things while they're listening. They might not think so, but when you're staring at a sexy person, you're not giving 100% to the comedy. Okay.
Again, this is just so perfect because literally, as you said, sexy person, your video glitched up and your face was like, as you're staring at a sexy person, it's just the most unattractive face I've ever seen. All right, I'm gonna do my
Oh,
top. I'm backing you up.
Jesus.
I gotta do my topic quick because we gotta get out. This internet connection is not gonna last. So,
Okay.
here's my topic: happy hour. Happy hour. You're familiar, of course. Restaurants is
Sure. Yeah.
bullshit. It's bullshit. Happy hours are bullshit. You're better off not ordering off the happy hour menu. Okay. So the only way a happy hour is ever good is if the thing you literally were going to get. I'm not talking about like happy hours where you go and you've scouted it out and you're like, no, I love oysters. This place has $2 oysters on Wednesdays from 4 to 6. We'll go there for oysters. That's fine. I'm talking about when you're a comic and you or anybody and you show up at a restaurant and the server comes out and it's like later because your show got over. So it's 9 and like, hey, just so you know, it's happy hour for the next 2 hours. And they give you this menu and it's all these items that you wouldn't have necessarily ordered, but it fucks with your head. And you go, oh, well, I guess instead of getting a burger, which was what I was gonna get for $12, I could get like these mozzarella sticks that are $1
Sliders.
cheaper than they normally are, and sliders that are like $1 cheaper than they normally are. And it's not what you wanted. It's also like less food for the money. So it's like
Yep.
still like you're not getting anything more. You're just getting a little less food and paying a little less. And it's
Yeah.
not what you wanted in the first place. So you go home and this happened to me recently. Like I went out to this place for dinner and I left going, I didn't get anything I really wanted. I actually think I spent more because I was like, well, I better get like a couple of these things to make sure I have enough food. You know what I mean? So just when you go, don't get,
Yeah.
my take is don't get blinded by the happy hour menu. Sure, you can take a look, but it's probably bullshit. They're doing it for a reason. You know, they're not doing it just to be nice. They're trying to get rid of this stuff. So I would say 9 times out of 10, just order off the regular menu and don't even worry about the happy hour menu.
Well, and my biggest beef is the happy hour menu is it's a mini version of the actual. So what's the point?
Right.
You're saving
It's
money,
just
but you're getting a
less.
smaller. Yeah.
Exactly. You get it. You're backing me up.
That.
All right. We got to wrap this thing up because Johnny's about to go into the Matrix here. But thanks everybody for listening to the Cavalry. Join the Patreon. We're going to do post-show banner, I hope, here coming up soon. And all our post-show banners are on there. And you can see me November 17th in Denver, Colorado at the Bug Theater. Tickets are available now. Tell your friends in Denver.
All right. If you're hearing this, you can see me at the Caravan in Louisville the 16th through the 18th, or the Omaha Funny Bone the Friday, Saturday after Thanksgiving.
All right. Go check out those shows. Go see Johnny. Go see me. Tell your friends. And thank you for listening to
The Cavalry.
The Cavalry.